Welcome, everybody, to a special episode of the USFL Network's best show, newest show. Tell me about it. Today, we are talking to freshly re-signed Michigan Panthers running back, Reggie Corbin. Joining me today is my brother and our Michigan Panthers representative, Maverick. Well, guys, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic now that I got the news that Reggie Corbin signed back for season 2.
Man, it's gonna be fun, man. I can't wait to win.
I can't wait to watch.
And not only did you get the news, you got to break the news. If you go check out Maverick's Twitter at PodInMyTake1, he posted the news with a sweet graphic. Let me see. Who made that graphic? Boom. Oh, look at that thing.
Someone did a heck of a job, man.
What a hero.
I love the Godspeed part on the cleat.
I love that you sent me that photo to use that, like, I made sure you could see the cleat because it just
that was fun.
Cool, right?
I didn't even notice it until someone pointed it out. I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. I sent it back. I was like, you can see it. So that graphic, the announcement, it is the #1 tweet on our Panthers page. It's huge. We're all super excited because you're coming back, Reggie. You know, we were unsure if you were going to come back. You got drafted to the 3-letter league, to that San Antonio team. And then you came back to the USFL. What happened? What made you come back to the greatest spring league that exists?
Oh, man, honestly, I kind of loved what kind of transpired in Michigan last year, honestly. We didn't really have the season that we wanted, of course. You know, I think we were like 2-8 or something. But the foundation of it was really well. We had some bumps in the road. I really felt confident, like, in my offensive coordinator. I love Jeff Fisher. I love the offensive line, the guys that I was around, the guys that were planning on coming back, our guy, Steve Kazor. And then just, you know, I'm kind of looking at the roster and knowing, you know, who our quarterback will be or at least which one will be there. It was kind of a no-brainer for me. I felt comfortable right then and there. And I just felt like it was going to be a great situation, especially being in the USFL, because even though it was year one, the league did really well, you know, really freaking well. Like, they took care of us in great ways. They adapted, like, even to the point where, man, like, I think a huge stepping stone for me was when they would adjust the rules during the season. Like that right there, I was like, okay, these guys are actually willing to just make the game better. Like, they're not trying to screw us over and all that. I think what was it? The second quarter started having running clock and everything because they just realized the games were way too long.
First and third quarters.
You know, is it first and third quarters?
First and third quarters have a running clock.
Okay, so but like the first game that I played, I'm like, man, I've been out here for a million years. This is crazy, you know. But then,
yeah. Oh, did you lose him?
I did.
Okay,
so I will say,
there we go. Okay,
how do I turn this on Do Not Disturb? Yeah, there it is. But yeah, man, it was just it was a great situation, and I couldn't be more grateful. So I was like, you know what? I prayed on it, talked to my dad, talked to my family, and, you know, it was just a great situation. I'm happy to be a Michigan Panther. I guess we'll see what hub we'll be at, and it'll be an amazing experience.
Absolutely. And I love the way you talked about how the league did change and make changes to not only rules, but, you know, then they had the special teams balls for specifically the kickers and everything so that it didn't have the sensor in it. The running clocks. The main thing, you know, this league does listen to the fans and the players. You could tell by the running clock and the balls, but then they listen to the fans as well, because the biggest gripe when big things happen, you know, it's not just we scored and 4 of us are screaming in the end zone right now. You know,
100%, man, 100%
goes off. So,
and they can hear everything you're saying. That's the worst part.
I was just gonna say, I'm gonna miss being able to hear every word spoken on the field.
Man, it's just kind of like a disadvantage, but it came to the point where we had to change all of our calls every week.
Yeah. I wonder if he got another call. He's a very popular man.
Yeah. No,
he's just freezing.
my internet has been acting up, so I'm sure we'll get him back here.
Here he goes. I don't know if we can hear you. I can't hear you, Reggie. But I remember Reggie was mic'd up one game and he was like, man, I didn't want people to hear all that. So the mic'd up and being able to hear everything on the field, it was something that was really cool.
It was very unique to the USFL.
It was unique to the USFL, but then it was also the announcers are sitting there trying to figure out every call. They're like, oh, they called this. I figured out that means it's going to be a swing route,
What is going on, man?
I said you're too popular and you keep getting calls. That's what I told everybody.
It just went out, man. Like, I don't know what happened. But what were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about how you could hear everything on the field. And you said you had to change your calls. And I was talking to Maverick while you were figuring it out that, even the announcers for the games were sitting there and they were like, oh, they called fire, Falcon right. That means that they're going to do a toss to the right. And it got to the point where my fiance was sitting there and she was like, why don't they just describe what's happening in the game and stop trying to figure out the calls? Because that was all anybody was doing.
But that's the thing. Like, I would sit there and watch the game, and let's say I'm watching it with Frank Genda, right? And we're talking, and I can hear the other team. So, like, football is so universal. Like, there's a thing where, like a stunt on defense is called like a pirate, right? So anything starting with a P, sometimes they call it pig, or they do something like buccaneer, where it's like a pirate. Like, so you could hear other teams' calls.
Oh yeah.
So you knew when you played them the following week, like what was going on. And I'm like, so we would have to literally change our calls so much to the point where it was like, man, we had to change our cadence. Like we went from like states to cities to like, I'm like, dude, like how am I going to remember this all the time? Like it was crazy, but it was definitely something we had to adjust to. Like people didn't realize like, that kind of throws the game off when you're a step slower. Like,
yeah,
when you're jumping off sides and things like that, like when you can hear everything that everyone's saying, every cuss word and everything like that as well, it's just kind of like this is kind of. But it was great, it was great for the fans. Fans enjoyed it because they had never heard it before. But I'm kind of glad that's gone, honestly.
Yeah, that was a little much. The drone was cool, a little annoying, but that was cool.
See, I didn't.
After a while, I got tired of hearing every single part of the field.
I wanted the drone to hit me so bad. I was gonna fall out. I was gonna fake fall out.
It's like walking on a college campus, like hoping you get hit by a bus.
I didn't sign a waiver, man. I didn't sign one waiver. Let this drone hit me, please.
Oh, I get you. It was cool. I think there's one video where you actually did see it hit someone. It was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, hit someone on our team in the scrimmage, and he like fainted, faking. It was like great. It's like, close that drone just really hit me.
They're like, Stevie, running over.
So, did you not like the drone, or was it just kind of an annoyance?
Like as the returner, it was like always in your face. It was like, like dude, like I'm trying to like figure my life out right now. Like there's about to be 11 guys coming down trying to kill me, and you're buzzing in my face. Yeah. But it was cool though, like watching it sometimes. But sometimes like we've watched football so much from a certain angle, you kind of just want that angle sometimes, so you can actually see the play.
No, true. It's even like when you're watching the NFL and they say tonight we have the Capital One Sky Cam. It was weird, and it's not what you're used to. I think there is that, but there were some really cool shots. I think we lost him again. He's too popular. But when he comes back, what question do you have for him, Maverick?
I'm just gonna keep on the train of things that are different coming in season 2.
All right, and then he'll join back in. I will say the drone shot of Reggie Northrup returning the fumble against the Panthers week 1
talk about it.
But it was one of the coolest shots I've ever seen in football. I mean, the drone was literally just following him.
No.
I'm about to fight this iPad. Like,
wasn't it the Michigan,
get a Samsung
or the Pittsburgh Maulers that had the like tip pick? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
The tipped pick.
maybe.
Yeah, it was
We're
on
talking
the
about cool
cam.
drone shots. I said my favorite obviously was Reggie Northrup returning the 95-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown.
You got to get over that, man. Let's talk about something else.
I know.
I thought it was the cool shot.
Panthers
It was just a really cool shot.
That's all I'm saying.
It was
your
good.
offense wasn't doing anything.
It was well.
It was really cool.
I can't believe we lost. That man. Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Okay,
that right there.
There were so many games like that. It was I wanted to tear my hair out. It seemed
both of our teams were in the same position.
Yeah,
every game.
At least you won that game, though.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
It was
you guys' defense was amazing.
Yes, it was so good.
Yeah.
The amount of talent that they brought in this year, like that's. How about that? How excited are you about all of the new signings? We were talking about a couple before we got started here, but how excited are you for the new faces that are going to be on the Panthers?
I'm really excited, man. All I've kind of had time to look at was the defensive line, and super excited about those guys. Like a guy that's kind of like my brother from Illinois, Jamal Milan, is playing with us now, and I know like that's going to be phenomenal. The defensive ends, the guys we got coming back, like I think it's going to be a great defense, man. I honestly can't wait to watch it. You know, like that's going to be the best part about it. Like it'll be great battling with them in camp and all that, but like seeing them hit other people is going to be amazing. It's like, yeah, these guys are my team. You know, there's no better feeling like when you walk out of the tunnel and you know, like these guys are with me, you know, like this is going to be great. It kind of makes me want to play punt return. So when you do like the defense stay and you somehow like break one and you got the big boys blocking for you, like that's the best part. But I think it'll be amazing, man. And then looking at the receivers that we have, I'm excited about Josh Love and Eric. Like, man, like this can be special. We just have to go out there and, you know, do what we're supposed to do. And then the O-line, like that right there is going to be beautiful. You know, I want to get with those guys and like gel, get to know them and kind of just create that bond as fast as we can. And then, you know, try to run the ball a little bit.
I get that. And what about your partners? And you know, you brought up Love, but what about your other partner in crime, Stevie Scott? He just re-signed. He's coming back. You know, you have a very similar backfield to what you had last year. Is it nice to be able to just go work with the same guys?
Yeah, it is. It really is, man, because it's kind of not like starting from step one again. You know, like we'll have new guys and we'll have to do that. But when you have it's a little different when you have some people that actually know what's going on opposed to like last year. We're having 8 walkthroughs because nobody knows what's going on at all. Like we're all just trying to help each other and learn. But now you have people that have an idea how things should go and everything will move a lot smoother. So a lot of people won't be getting yelled at as much, which is great. Nice. But it'll be fun, man, just to have like, you know, like you said, Stevie back, like being in the same room, talking with each other, seeing what we think, and I think it'll be a great time, man, just being at offense again and honestly just to play football.
Well, I think I speak for both me and Maverick when I say, what's up with your boy Lance? Where's Lance Lenore going next year?
Well, you know, Lance was just with the Rams. He's a beast. So honestly, I hope that, you know, an NFL team picks him up to be with. Like, for selfishly, like I would love for Lance to be on our team, but like Lance is like a brother to me, you know, like probably one of the closest guys I got to know in the USFL, and we hung out all the time. I want him to, you know, accomplish his goals and, you know, follow his dreams and everything like that. I hope he's on the team. Like, I would love, you know, for Lance to come back and do even better. But if he can, you know, stay on that level, there's no point. I would hope people want the same for me. I know he would, honestly. So, but yeah, man, I just hope he gets something either with the Rams or a perfect fit, whatever God thinks is perfect for him. And I need to call him, by the way. That is a great point. So,
hey, we're even reminding you to do stuff. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Ace and I, we always catch ourselves because we're always speculating on who our dream player to re-sign is or who we really want to re-sign. And we have to remind ourselves that, you know, a lot of these players, they did it. You know, they made it to the NFL, and we should be proud of them, not hoping they come back to the USFL.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can get a little selfish sometimes wanting Lance back, you know, wanting Kavonte Turpin to come back. just wanting these guys back that we all know aren't. But speaking of the future and things that are changing, do you have anything you know of that's going to be like a huge difference coming in season two, even just for the Michigan Panthers or for the USFL as a whole?
Something that's like completely different. Well, I think the hubs will be, obviously that would be amazing. Something that's just like different. Obviously, I think the league is gonna take care of the guys more. You know, like it's kind of tough, you know, because one thing about them that I really love and appreciate is that they always adjust. Like you never see a league do that. Like where fans have an opinion. Yeah. Like that right there is like unreal, unless it's like the fan control league. But it's just a simple fact that they're gonna keep improving. Like even if we don't like the food, like they really want our opinion, you know? Like they really want to know, hey, like, do you guys like the food? Like, do you guys like the barbers that's in there? Do you guys like the recovery room? What more do you need? What can we do? You know, and that right there. So do I know like what's actually going to be different? No, because I haven't really, you know, tapped into that yet. But I just know that one thing for sure, that they'll always take care of the players and it'll get better and better. Like I know that for a fact. So
I agree. The fact that every time there is an outpour of, you know, concern over some little thing or something, the league reacts positively. You know, you mentioned it, unless it's the fan controlled football, you don't really see a lot of fan interaction or a league listening. You know,
100%.
The only other thing we've seen where a league interacted with fans was another spring league sent out cease and desist for people that were using their name. So like, that's the only thing. To see a positive interaction for the USFL, it's very unique. And it's what draws people like me and Mav to cover it, because it is a league that is very friendly to us, that, you know, lets us in a little, not too much, but a little. And, you know, it's been
100%.
fun. And especially the players in this league. Like the fact that we've become friends with you is wild. Yeah. You know, I've never watched a player on TV and been like, man, I can't wait to text him after the game and let him know that he kicked ass, you know, like never get to do that. So it's very unique. And I'm glad that you signed back up for season 2, man.
Of course, man. I think it's going to be huge, though, honestly. Like, think about it. Guys have tried to get the playoff rules changed in the NFL for, like, forever. True. Like, they're, like, voting on it. We got a chip taken out of the footballs for kicking in, like, 3 days.
In 2 weeks.
Exactly, was like, right? And then you also got, like, you know what I mean? And then you also got the running clock. Like completely changed. Like that right there is huge, man. You don't see that. Like people have been trying to get the college football playoffs to be bigger for forever, and they said, okay, you know, we'll do it in 2 years. Like these guys did it in 2 weeks. Like the USFL is a dream come true, man. Like when it comes to like real issues and just improving and like the ultimate growth, I think this league can be, honestly, it's sky's the limit, man. Like it's nuts, the fact that they are on top of it like that. And there's a lot of little things that like inside that a lot of people don't know about that they're really on top of. You know, if players have an issue with it, they're really helping, like willing to do it. And that right there is great. And I hope that the United by Football show like blows up even more this year. Like,
oh yeah. And now, you know, last year it was kind of who had a recognizable name. Who had been on reality TV before, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I didn't even know some of those guys, though, honestly.
Exactly. I'm hoping that this year, like when they're looking for their representative for each team, to have someone that is a consistent character on the show. I don't even know if you call it character, a consistent person who shows up on the show. I hope when they go to the Panthers, they realize they're like, hey, we mic'd this guy up one game last year. He was a riot. It was so crazy. We never mic'd him up again. And
so that's because I had to ask, man.
I know. You told me that.
Did you guys hear the story about that?
Yeah, that they didn't ask you what they could release, right?
Well,
and then suddenly it was just like a bunch of stuff out there.
If they put a mic on you, like, you know, they're releasing whatever. Like, right? Everything's fair game. But at the same time, like, when I had seen everybody else, I know their mics had got cut off and all that. And then after the game, everyone was like, yeah, your mic never cut off. And then I couldn't even watch the game. I was like, I don't even want to hear it because I know how I am, like I don't even cuss when, outside of football. And then when I'm out there, it's war, like
You
I
got to
have to
flip a
be that
switch,
way.
you know?
I have to be that way, and I can't help it. I can't do anything about it. It's the same reason why there was like a clip of me and my coach like talking, and they may have thought like people would say, "Oh, he's like yelling at the coach." Like, no, my coaches understand. Like, and too, when you're like a winner as a coach, you understand. Like, it's just passion. This is nothing. Like, the thing is, at the end of the day, we all want to win, right? Like, and we're having a conversation. I never disrespect anyone. So like, the reason of the mic up, not miking me up again, it was just like, all right, I have to make sure I can't be painted in a bad light, because that's bad,
You're like, I got kids watching me.
Yeah,
I get it.
like I come back and I'm coaching my little nephew, and he's like, "Well, you said it," and I'm like, "Well, you're right, I did say it, but you can't say it," So, but it was a learning experience, and there's one thing about it, like I can't control it. Like when I'm out there, like I really can't help it. It'll never stop. So if they mic me up, it is what it is. Hopefully, they just beep everything out.
Well, hopefully they give you
nice.
Hopefully they give you a mic in an interview room and they let you talk on the United by Football, because I mean, some of the guys, yeah, they had personalities, but they also didn't produce.
Mm-hmm.
It was a whole thing. And I think this year they should look at it and say, okay, who are fan favorites? And if we saw anything from the tweet that Maverick put out of your re-signing, you are a fan favorite. You are a 35,000 view fan favorite. So they should give you a mic, man. They should throw you on there, say what's up. I don't even know who they should do for the Gamblers, but I know for the Panthers.
Gamblers. I love you guys as running back, man. I love you guys as running back.
Mark Thompson's wild.
I'm not a fan of I'm rarely a fan of big backs. And we were watching the tape, and I'm like, I like that dude. Like,
well, he had the my favorite response to we didn't expect when we first created the USFL 50, which I know you have thoughts about, but we didn't expect the players to take it as seriously as they did.
Oh, I forgot. I should have blocked you guys. Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. That's so good. I can't wait. Just know I saved it.
Yes. And I can't say what Mark Thompson responded to his post live on air. I don't know if it's exactly appropriate, but it was my favorite response. It was hilarious.
Oh, he definitely should have gone off. What was he? What number was he?
He was 40.
Whoa, you guys are rude. Oh my gosh.
43.
Okay,
he was not. Was he?
I swear he was like 43. And I screenshotted what he said. Mike Abernathy's was number 2 on responses for me. On running back? I mean, you got to think that if you took equal number of each position for the countdown, you only had 5 players at each position. So, there were only like 5 or 6 running backs total. Where was he? But also, like, you and him both had the same kind of issue, was that you ended up missing games. And that's what dropped you a little bit. But think about it. I think you missed probably as many games, and you were number 11. He was number 43.
I think I was number 9. So let's put some respect.
Yeah, I was gonna say top 10 for sure.
Was he number 9?
Don't be too disrespectful. I just
I'm the Gamblers rep. I'm the Gamblers rep.
So I'm letting you.
And Maverick was excited because he had 2 posts in the USFL 50. He only had 2 Panthers players to post.
But this is the thing too. Okay, so where did Mark come in at running back? Because one thing I don't me is just me joking around and all that. Like, I get it, I miss games or whatever. And I'm just gonna get mad about everything. Like, I take everything personal, which is great. But it's to me, it's all about production. Like, I had an argument with my boy before the season, and he goes, "Oh, Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league." I said, dude, hands down, next year, Saquon Barkley will be the best back in the league. And he's like, what are you talking about? He hasn't played. I said, dude, you put anybody else on the team, he's not doing that, right? So now we think about it. You go to the Gamblers. They have no passing game at the time for most of the season, right?
I watched.
So what did he do? What did Mark Thompson do? He carried it still, and they knew they were running. So, there's certain things that, when you watch it, you got to take that into account of, how much of a stud is this guy, right? They know he's running. He doesn't really have that great of a pass game. He's so efficient when he gets the ball. He's making people miss, and he's a big back. How? How can he
Kinda
come in at
like-
6?
I
Kind of
don't
like
want to
Adrian
disagree
Peterson
with
with
you.
Christian Ponder at quarterback.
I don't want to disagree with you about the Saquon thing, but Derrick Henry is in the exact same situation where they have
Oh
no.
no! But that was my argument last year. That was my argument.
Oh,
That was
okay.
when he had Julio Jones and all.
Oh,
that.
okay,
Like,
okay.
and
AJ
then
Brown.
Danny Dimes wasn't playing well. Like that. That was before. But I'm just saying, like, the whole thing of like that's how I look at it sometimes. So it's not necessarily about like, okay, this guy had this amount of yards or this or that. It's just about production because you can not get the ball that many times. And that's just the nature of the offense or like how the game flowed. Like the defense could have been on the field for 30 minutes. Like that's not his fault. He can't get penalized for that. It's about what he did when he got it, right? In the situation that he was in. And I always think like, could you put someone else, the guy that you put in front of him, could you put him on that team and could it be better or the same? And if not, then how's it better? Like
that is a good way to look at it.
Put him in someone else's situation, it's like, dude, like you put him on the Stars. What?
He'd have been wild.
Okay, but you're being modest right now because the Panthers passing game was not
but
much
this is
better.
not about me. I'm never gonna talk about me. I'm just saying in defense of him.
Yes, but
you gotta go check out his
there's a reason you were above him.
Yeah, I will. But no, I'm not saying make me lower. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying like he came in at 5th or 6th, right? So I'm just like, how? Like
no, and I understand that, but you got to think that you're only convincing. Well, I mean, everybody who watches this, but you're convincing 2 people who put in ballots, and that's me and Mav. And we had players, we had coaches, we had a GM put in theirs, and so. Like, obviously, I had Mark Thompson very high, right? I'm the gambler's guy. I'm a little biased. And also, I watched every single snap he took. And I saw exactly what you're talking about, that there was no pass game. They knew that we were going to run it, and he would still produce. I saw that. I had him very high, but he falls with the other ballots.
Like, they're in cover 0.
Exactly.
And this guy is running with and he doesn't have a running quarterback. So, like, he's got like
not
2
until
people
Kenji came in, and by the time he came in, Mark wasn't really playing as much. He had been banged up. But no, I am seeing what you're seeing, and I'm talking like I had him very high, but there were, a lot of ballots.
I get that,
and so then you get into just the shuffle. And
that's just my 2 cents on it. So when I look at it, like that's just how I evaluate, like especially a running back. It's like, could I put somebody else in this situation and would it be better or would it be the same? Regardless of the system and whatever, like what's really going on, not just his numbers. Like his numbers that's cool and that's cute, but like stuff happens. Like some guys can average 17 yards in one game, right? Dude, he ran untouched. It's great. True. Like he ran it, you know what I mean? He ran untouched. That is what it is. That's great. I'm not gonna knock you for it, but I can't put you over the guy and say like, oh, this is amazing because of that. Like some guys literally get the ball sometimes, and like there's certain plays where you can run straight and then we go nuts over it. It's like, no, we need to go nuts over the dude that was blocking. Like, I love you guys.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I'm giving all the love to the blockers, especially on the Gamblers.
Like these dudes.
Oh, I love the O-line that they're putting together.
Like, people had opinions about because they had asked me who I thought was the best linebacker I had played against, right? And because we had to vote for all USFL and everything. And I didn't play against the Gamblers. So when I said that in Donald Payne, it was like, he's definitely not the best. You know what I mean? Like once I said, because I said Christian Sam, I said he was the best that I played against, right? Like I didn't say, because I didn't play against Reggie Northrup. I didn't play against Donald Payne. So I don't know. Like I can't, and on film they looked great, right? But I can't say that. So I said Christian Sam. And like if you look at the way the guy played, like I was like, oh my gosh, this dude's great. So when he got picked, when he got signed first to the Cowboys, I was like, that's no shot. Like, yeah, this guy's really good. But where was he on the list?
He wasn't. And that's a lot of the stuff where it's things that
what's going on? I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I didn't even
but it's things that aren't flashy. and it's things that aren't exciting to fans.
Yeah.
You can have an H-back that is absolutely demolishing people in front of the running back. People are only watching the running back. You'll get the diehard football fans who are going to share the highlight of the block, but most people aren't going to watch it, and
100%.
they aren't going to notice that. And that's the hard part. And that's where our network tries to be different. And that's why when you look at the USFL top 50, like we made sure when we sent out the list, we said it is the top 50 players of all positions. Special teams, O-line included, make sure you're taking them into account. And some people were calling it out when we first started doing it. They were like, we're going to wait and see if there's O-line. And we were sitting back and we were like, yeah, there's O-line. Like we were watching that.
Okay.
So we're trying to be different. We're trying to expand people's horizons as far as football players go, and not just pay attention to only the Reggie Corbins and the Mark Thompsons, but pay attention to the people who are blocking for him.
You know who another beast is? Marcus Ball. He couldn't get the ball all year because we had different situations going on. Marcus Ball. Like when you turned on the tape, dude, I'm like, how is this guy putting people in the ground? Like, he didn't go out there running a great route, and sometimes it wouldn't come to him, but when it did, he caught it. Like, it was just great. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where we ran like a double post, and he was wide open. We ended up throwing to the guy behind him. But, like, the route he ran was amazing. So I get it. There's guys that don't make lists just because some positions are kind of glorified,
Exactly.
Like, but, I guess it's the nature of the business. But you guys need to watch out for Marcus Ball. I'm telling you. You guys are going to be like, wow, this guy.
Write that down.
This guy is a beast. Watch. I'm telling you, like, this guy is different.
All right. Well, Reggie, we've taken up a lot of your night. I know that you have to be up early tomorrow for a workout. So I hand it to Maverick. Mav, you got one last question to ask our man?
Just, kind of as a team for the Michigan Panthers, are you expecting to see, a lot of similar faces, or is the new talent, are you thinking, some of these guys, because I know actually this year they're going to be cuts. Are you expecting new talent, or are you expecting some similar faces for, the Michigan Panthers fans? What can we expect?
I think that honestly, you never know till you get to camp, like really, because things happen, right? But I think we had a really, really good positions, like position groups. Like there were some where like our receiver group was. There was a time like we would go probably a week or two in practice, and they wouldn't drop a ball. Like the ball wouldn't hit the ground. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, these dudes are elite. They don't take breaks. Like I said, our D-lines, like what our new additions to the D-line are going to be amazing, but I don't know how many guys we're supposed to cut or whatever. But I think it's going to be a mixture, man. Like I think it's going to be a mixture. I think we improved where we felt like we needed to improve. And I think the great talent that we had last year, like that core and that nucleus, is just going to either rise to the occasion or rise to the occasion. So I just think it's only really one option, man. I think they're going to do great. I think everyone's at home, still hungry. And the best thing about it is I think the best thing that happened for us was we lost last year. Like we needed that 100%, because if you looked on like the betting sites or whatever, we were the favorites. Like immediately we were the favorites. And we needed that. Like we had Jeff Fisher as our head coach. Like our uniforms are the best. It's the greatest.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely not the Gamblers, but it's all good.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I love our logo. I absolutely love the Gamblers logo. It's the only one that not a single thing could have been changed to make it better, and they just kept it from the 80s. I love it.
I guess. But, it's just I think our team's going to improve and we're going to get better and we're just going to gel together. So I really don't know how many people we're going to cut. I don't even know what the roster size is, man. Like I really just try to worry about what I got to worry about.
I'm not sure that's confirmed or anything. I just know that we have a lot of people returning, and we've already signed like almost 30
a million.
people.
Yeah, I saw it too. I was like, dude, we got a lot of people. But hey, I did hear the
No,
same thing about the possible cut thing or whatever. So, well, and I kind of figured it when I saw the numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
competition breeds success. So
to 100%, and I know for a fact everyone that was there last year is not shying away from competition. Like I know that for sure. I can attest to that. So.
Oh heck yeah. Well, Reggie, we've taken up a lot of your time. I love what you said. You know, it's going to be mixed, but while we're not completely sure how many new faces we're going to see against how many old faces, we are 100% sure that one of the old faces we're going to see is your pretty face, man. And we're going to see you out there. Hopefully, we're going to see you get a spotlight on United by Football. Hopefully, we're going to see you get mic'd up again and just hear you raw and crazy out there. We enjoy it.
100%. So, avocado salad, right? Is that what I was supposed to say?
Avocado, yes. You were supposed to say that on the field.
I got you. I started thinking
I
about
just randomly said that.
Did
that
they?
Was the first, I forgot I said that. I was like, say avocado salad. I want to see. I hear you on TV. I forgot.
And then I told them, don't like me. But did Did they drop the schedule yet?
Not yet.
I hope
not yet. But I have a graphic
first
ready.
Game in Birmingham. Like I heard. Well, that's going to be a huge game. Whoever plays Birmingham in Birmingham is going to be nuts.
Well, from what we've heard, it seems a lot like it's going to be possibly the same schedule, but flipped home and away. So we're probably going to see you playing the Gamblers. And week 1, me and Mav are trying to get out there to see both of our teams playing each other. And I'll come say what's up.
Well, did we play? Who was the home team last year?
You were.
We were. Yeah.
So you get to roll to Memphis.
Man, I wanted to see. I do want to see who Birmingham plays first, because I think it'll just be nuts. Like the fans are coming off a championship. They're gonna be. Oh, I'd love that. But I'm just gonna be watching from wherever I'm gonna be, so that'll be nice. Yeah.
All right. Well, what's up, Cap?
Didn't they play the Generals week 1?
They did,
which is who they beat in the playoffs, right?
No, the Stars beat them.
Stars beat them.
The Stars beat them.
But that's gonna be nuts. Oh,
that would be wild.
But no, it'll be. So that can't be the schedule then, though, because they played in Birmingham, the first one. So if they're gonna flip, you know what I mean? Well,
no, because Birmingham was away. Birmingham was away week 1.
But
they would be home.
It
was in Birmingham, but they were away.
They had 10 home games, but it is what it is.
They did, but it is what it is.
Weird that they won 9 of them.
Yeah.
All right. Man. Well,
surprising.
Reggie, dude, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for letting us have the exclusive and getting to tweet out that you were coming back. Thank you for letting me make possibly one of the coolest graphics I've ever made. That was a really fun one. And I hope you cherish it. So thank you so much for coming on, Mav. Thanks for you guys, coming and talking with us.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much
for having me, man.
Of course. No, thank you for blowing up my account. You put me on the map. So I appreciate you. You really did.
Oh, man.
I am 99% sure your post, like the post of you, has more than all my other posts combined. So, no, you put my face on the map.
You said his ratio right.
It's Illinois, man. It's Illinois. They show football. Love. And USFL. Like there are some really diehard fans, man, and I love it. I appreciate it.
You're telling us, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it. So I appreciate you guys having me, man. Anytime, honestly. Just let me know.
Always.
Yeah.
Always. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching our special interview episode of Tell Me About It, talking with Reggie Corbin about his new re-signing with the USFL and what it's going to look like in season 2 for him. So everybody, thank you so much. Thank you, Reggie, again. Thank you, Mav. All y'all have a great night.
Have a good one, brother.